still we thought we'd die. We cook their meat and we make their pie. But now we kiss them a last goodbye. We're out, out, out on a strike. They thought they fell into paradise. From now on they can sing lullabies. We're out, out, out on a strike. They weren't just a kind to satisfy our wishes, so we made up their minds to start in washing dishes. They only work every now and then, but now they'll rise when they hear Big Ben. Our day has come and it's down with men. We're out, out, out on the strike.
I'll be hanged if I wash any more woman's whatchamacallits. It ain't dignified. Hello? Hello? Oh, it's you, Henry. Gee, I was afraid it was the wife.
George just called up. The women are massed for an attack. Come over right away.
Well, what if Cleo should come home and find me gone?
Oh, I don't think your wife will ever be home again.
Say, boy, there ain't no such happiness on this earth.
Say, hurry, Archie. And Archie, be careful at Central Avenue. If you still have your war helmet, wear it. Goodbye.
Oh, what is Paducah coming to?
And you members of the Women's Union, what this country needs is more powerful women. Hooray! Women who know what they want and know how to get it. Hooray! The men think they are the bosses and that we are the co-bosses. Because he wears pants and swaggers and shaves, he thinks noble women are nothing but slaves. Take that!
My goodness, George, you walked right in under that ladder.
Walked the eye, I galloped.
Did they chase you?
Who, me? A week married and a week separated, and now you're so weak that you're afraid of a ladder and a few backfiring women.
Well, I'm not either, but even if I was, whose wife started all this? Will you tell me that?
Well, mine did. And if I could love her for anything, I could love her for that. As far as I'm concerned, the strike could go on forever.
Well, you don't need to be brutal about it. How do you like the new headquarters?
Oh, it's not bad, considering it's your bridal suite.
Hey, I should resent that, but I must think of the lake. You know, if we don't all stick together, we're going to all fall apart.
And this, ladies, is what we must live up to. Down with husbands. Down with husbands. Down with husbands.
Oh, get back to your babies and leave husbands alone.
Tear him apart.
Well, it's a fight to the finish, and we've got to stick together. What?
Archie!
What's the matter with him?
Oh, say, oh, they're out for blood. It's terrible. Oh, what is Paducah coming to?
You look like you've been chased.
Oh, say, women massed on every corner. When they saw me, they started shouting, down with husbands.
As if husbands weren't down already.
But think of it, infant coming, the man isn't safe on the streets.
We never were.
The Husbands Protective League will take care of all of that.
And they're so dumb that you wouldn't have imagined they'd get the jump on us like this. Why, they're organized already.
They're organized from birth.
Oh, do you think they're dumb, George? Or are they just suspicious?
Both. My wife thinks that a garter snake is a fellow not to be trusted.
Well, now that the husbands of Paducah are banded together, wives will be wives, or they won't be wives at all.
Well, all the newsboys on the street are shouting about the strike.
Yes, look here. My wife's picture on the front page.
So it ought to be. She started.
Oh,
Well, say, the strike's okay with me. But just the same, George, if you'd stayed home an evening now and then, you
Oh,
might...
listen, did I know she was going to take me to court? Did I know that the judge was going to rule that a man's soul may belong to his wife, but his evenings are his own?
Well, if the judge had known that 400 women were going to start out in sympathy, maybe he wouldn't have ruled that way.
Sure he would. This is one time the women guessed right. The judge ruled that way because he wanted them to go out on a strike, so that he and I could have our evenings for poker.
And to think, George, that all this started because you objected to the shortness of your wife's skirts.
Yes, and her temper, too. Don't forget that. Well, the strike can go on forever as far as I'm concerned, baby. Look at that.
What is it?
Look, 19 addresses, 18 beauties, and one with a slight mustache. Oh, boy, was I on some party last night. But I ask you, if this strike should suddenly end, how would I get the full benefit out of my little red book?
Yes, that's all right for you, but what about me? Married only 7 days, and my wife walks out of the bridal chamber.
You should have kept her in a halter.
Well, that's all the more reason to fight, Henry.
You bet. Do you think we're going to let them make monkeys out of us? Look at here. Look at this. Wives meet at town hall and decide to strike. 400 wives pile their dishes in the sink. As if they weren't always in the sink. In the sink and walk out. Tuesday, mayor orders police to break up wives' union meeting. Mayor's wife joins strikers. 150 more wives follow her.
Oh, what is Paducah coming to?
And Wednesday, Visiting Relatives Association mails an official objection. Western Can Opener Company makes a complaint. American Baby Carriage Company offers to arbitrate, stating that business will be at a standstill if the strike continues. And the Eastern Rubber Goods Company goes so far as to file a formal protest declaring that the strike will practically paralyze the sale of rubber-handled toothbrushes. Thursday.
Oh, that was the day that the laundresses walked out in sympathy. You remember that, George.
And if this
yes.
laundry strike don't finish pretty soon, I'm going to have to get myself a coat of Duco.
Well, I'll do your washing for you, George. Men's things now would be a pleasure.
I'll answer that. I'm expecting that call. Are you on for tonight, Archie?
No, not tonight, George. If I don't get those duds out of the suds, they're going to turn sour.
Hello, dearie. Yeah. Oh, holy smoke. It's my wife. Here, Henry, you take it.
That was my husband. Sounded cocky. Been out pokering with that judge again. Nothing of the sort. Just finessing a queen.
I never would have believed that men were like they are.
No bride would. If they did, there'd be no bride. Hello.
Hello? Madam, there is nothing that you can do that will make us give in to your union.
Hooray! Hooray!
Oh, of course, we'll give you a hearing. A dog's entitled to that much.
Say, why wasn't I born with a gall like that?
Gall? Why, that's just like kissing them. You ought to hear me talk back to those dames.
Yes, we'll receive the committee. Oh, by the way, who is on the committee?
Well, first there's myself and Mrs. Sweet.
What? Goodbye. Oh, this is shameful. This is terrible. It's like using dum-dum bullets in a friendly war.
What ails you?
The committee is headed by our own wives.
Oh, gosh. Say, that's the worst news since the war began.
Why, that's great news. The strike will last forever.
Still, it plays right into our own hands, doesn't it?
How?
Well, I had planned to decoy them here. Now, they're coming of their own accord.
Oh, I see. Not bad. You're bringing them here so I can throw a scare into them.
Nothing of the sort. And don't you hurt my Gladys.
Oh, and you're supposed to be president of this outfit. Where's the deck of cards?
Cards?
Yes, we've got to be playing something or they'll think we're worrying. We let them see that we're indifferent.
That's a good idea, George.
Wait. Mrs. Wyndham objects to my playing cards.
Oh, your wife isn't coming, Archie. Henry was kidding.
Ain't she?
No, he winked at me when he said it.
Say, when you jest about things like that, smile.
Here, deal and get your mind off of your washing.
All right.
The joker's in there, too.
Getting so bad that your wives scare me.
It's lucky your wife isn't coming, Archie.
Why should anybody be scared? Come in.
Say, did your wives bring any supporters?
None to speak of.
I call you, gentlemen. 3 queens here.
But they're no good. 3 kings beat 'em.
But how 6 3 queens can make 3 jacks?
Did somebody speak? We have caught
How do
your
you
feet,
do?
Jim.
How do you do?
Shame on you, pokering.
Good night.
Oh, Henry.
Gladys.
Gladys,
Henry, you're still on strike.
I'll ask you, please, not to keep looking at my limbs.
Well, if I can't, who can?
Anybody but you.
I presume you ladies came here to propose something?
Not at all. We came to warn you. We've been delegated to bring you this message, that by tomorrow morning, not a woman in this town will exist for you.
I have a few names that will still be in the flesh.
Not a woman, I tell you. Nurses, teachers, manicurists, models, chorus girls, telephone operators, waitresses, chambermaids.
Why, it ain't decent.
Miss Dames, don't think for one moment that you have us bluffed. The Husbands Protective League has not been asleep.
So you call this your headquarters, do you? Looks more like hindquarters to me.
Oh, what is Paducah coming to?
Listen to this from the cutters and fitters. Gentlemen, 95% of our organization are men, and they have decided that as long as the strike lasts, they will not put another stitch on women's backs. If the strike continues, you will see the ladies without any clothes on at all.
Whoopee! I hope the strike lasts forever.
Magnificent.
Archie, what are you thinking about?
Well, it excites me to see such cooperation from the cutters and fitters.
Our organization has voted if the wives don't return to their homes by midnight tonight, every woman in the city will be locked out.
Oh, Henry, me too.
Brides and all.
A lockout.
Henry, that's talking your language, isn't it? And those we don't block out, we'll throw out. Huh, they'll never settle after that.
You can't bluff us with your poker faces. Just try and get along without women. Lock us out if you dare. If we have to, we'll burn our way into our own bedrooms.
Oh, what is Paducah coming to?
We're off on the wrong foot. You were too rough.
Say, which side are you on, anyway? There's the phone. Hello?
Reporter on the Gazette speaking. Is this the Husbands Protective League? How about the strike?
It's a Gazette reporter.
Tell him to call back in 10 minutes. We've got to play for time.
A boy here says to call back in 10 minutes.
Now, ladies, I suggest that we talk this matter over and look at it eye to eye for a moment.
Yes, as the bellboy said to the actress who complained that there was something wrong with the keyhole of her door.
What?
I'll look into it tonight, says the boy.
That's the way they get after a few years.
I understand, Mrs. Fuller, that all of this trouble sprung from your skirt.
And what business is that of yours?
Ours is a fight for the woman's right in the home.
In the home, but darling, we were living in a hotel.
The darling is out. Can't you get used to it?
Well, don't you all have an allowance? What more do you want?
Full operation and control of the paycheck. I've been married 4 times, and every one of them complained I was being overpaid.
My dear lady, no 4 men ever thought the same thing.
No.
No, they knew it.
He wouldn't dare say that if husbands were men.
Now, ladies, be calm. We are willing to be reasonable, but some of your demands are quite impossible. Now, that one about the business of hiring stenographers.
And who has a better right to choose who shall sit in their husband's lap?
How do we know but what you'll decide on doing it yourself?
You shouldn't have said that.
Madam President, I move we leave here at once.
I second the motion.
The motion is carried.
Come in.
I see this is going to be a fight to the finish.
Yes, our fight and your finish.
I am Vera LaBelle. Is this the quarters of the Husbands Protective League?
Yes, miss.
Well, I'm the walking delegate.
Walking? Say, you'd catch a ride before you'd gone a block.
Archie?
Gentlemen, I have come here to tell you that I represent an organization of an army of young women, like myself, who are ready to step into the homes of wives who have walked out on this strike.
Good heavens.
I was afraid of that. A strike breaker. Scab. Scab.
Scab.
I can furnish 2 incoming girls for each outgoing wife.
Boy, that's what I call service.
Archie, I don't want you to have anything to do with this woman.
I've got to stick to my organization.
This is sinful.
Gentlemen, we try to do things in a very businesslike way.
Yes.
Now, here is our catalog, illustrated with full descriptions from which you can order.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I think I'll take that number 165B, the luscious blonde with a lemon hat.
Can you guarantee the goods to taste like the samples?
Please? Absolutely. Now, for Mr. Sweet, I've picked the cutest little girl. She used to be in the Follies chorus. But, of course, you don't mind that, do you?
Well, he can't have her.
Well, if he don't want her, I want her.
And if he don't take her, I'll take her.
Now, Mr. Wyndham, what kind of a girl would you like?
Well, give me a change of color. I've had 10 years of brunette, and I've 30 more to go. Give me a nice, pronounced blonde.
You better get him a laundress.
You'd think they were buying cattle.
Very well, gentlemen. I'll bid you au revoir.
Au revoir.
Now the wives say out on strike, out on strike, out on strike. We will do just what we like. Oh, sweet baby. Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Henry, dear, I believe we're weakening. No, I wanted to give in from the very first.
No, you don't. What about the strike? Buck up, you bozo. It's all a trick.
Perhaps, George, dear. But after all, what would life be without a few tricks?
What does this mean?
It means that you've always been right about my skirt.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Hello?
This reporter on the Gazette again.
Hold the line a minute. Is the Gazette... They're going to press.
Tell him that the women have surrendered unconditionally.
Tell him nothing of the sort. Tell him the men have met us fully halfway.
Just a minute. Who lowered her skirt a foot? Do I wear a skirt?
Why, you poor fathead. I simply tucked it up when I came here so you wouldn't think I had given in. Don't you realize that long skirts are now in style?
Give me that phone.
There. Come, darling. They started it. Let them finish it.
That's what I say. I've been thinking the same thing myself all day.
Darling.
Me too.
Oh, you poor darling. They almost got you away from me. And tomorrow's wash day, too.
Oh, never mind, Turtle Dove. You know, I got the silk things just about done already.
Oh, you sweet thing.
Oh, Mama.
Well, I'm going to be busy every night this week, but I'll try and meet you a few minutes next month and talk things over with you.
You brute! Well, I'll show you what a striking woman really is. And from now on, I won't even rattle before I strike.
Oh, dearie! Oh, baby! Oh, honey! Oh, help! Henry!
You brute!